Hey Flosstube, it's Lori of Mischievous Stitches. It is Saturday, August the 26th. I hope everyone has had a great week. I have so looked forward after this work week, looked forward to the weekend so I could get some stitching done and spend some time with the family. I've gotten a little stitching done today. I haven't been home that long. My husband has been with his brother. His brother just had a new home built, so my son and my husband has been with him today, helping him move, so I have been all to myself. I got up this morning, I did some running around, a little bit of shopping, pick up some things that I needed to frame a piece. I'm going to show you in just a minute. I did participate last week in Priscilla and Chelsea's Sunday Santa Sunday stitch, and I'm going to get right to it. So let me start with my sampler piece by Scarlet House. Where is the pattern? It's right here. I started this at the retreat weekend before last. This is the piece, and those are just my orts there. But this is the piece. And the retreat host, Katrina, finished this during the retreat. So I had to have it, and I started it 1/1 on 28 count. Picture this plus L. So this week I finished up the fruit basket, and I put in this star as well as the S and the flower to the right of it, and a couple more letters and a little bit more of the bands. They're not a whole lot, or at least it doesn't look like a whole lot because it's over one, but it's a good bit. That is what I've stitched on the majority of my time this week. I also, let me put that back away. I saw someone this week on Flosstube were using these. This is what I had always used up until I started making Vanna's bags. I really like these mesh bags. It was Jessica's Schoolhouse Stitcher. I think she said she got them from the Container Store. I'm pretty sure it was Jessica, but I love these bags too. But I have been switching over to the Vanna bags. This week, like I said, I participated in Chelsea and Priscilla's Santa Sunday. And this is what I started last Sunday. I bought this at the Dixie Darling back in February or March when my husband had a little getaway. And my husband and I had a little getaway. And it surprised me because this piece has a little bit of metallic. And then it has this, which is a wool thread. And I had never used that before, and it calls for 2 strands. I don't have any DMC up here with me where I can see, but that's 2 strands together there. It just surprised me because, I mean, it is thicker than the DMC, but for the chart to call for it, for me to use the, actually that was 3 strands, I'm sorry. It surprised me that it called for me to use 2 because, like I said, it's a good bit thicker than DMC. But here's the piece. I got a lot done. Once again, my husband was not here. My son was not here. And I did something that I rarely do other than laundry and a little light cleaning. I parked my behind on the couch and stitched to Netflix all day. On and off all day. And as you can see right here, this is the wool thread. It does seem to have better coverage than the DMC, but all that brown, a mousy brown, that is the wool thread. But I'm getting close to a finish on him. Maybe not this weekend, because tomorrow is my husband's birthday, so we have family coming over for a good dinner. But he goes on this sleigh. Like I said, I got this at the Dixie Darling in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee. Foxwood Crossing, that's the home of Foxwood Crossing. The shop owner, actually, these are hers. So the price of the sleds were a little cheaper than they are off of 123. But just so you know, and I've seen where Farm Girl and Buckeye Stitcher have both stitched this, and it inspired me to buy it when I was there. So Let me put all this away. I was the lucky recipient a couple weeks ago of one of the giveaways by Jude Designs. Am I saying that correctly? Let me look. This is it. I was one of the winners, and she allowed us to choose what color she wanted. And I had looked on her site a few times and just had not yet purchased a piece. But this is one of the ones that I had chosen, and it is Jude Designs. J-U, here you go. This is 32 count Swigert Belfast linen. And this is Grandma's slip. Not her slit, her slip. I just love the colors. It looks like just an old yellow piece of cotton with a few stains and a little bleaching to it. And there's another that she has that is Grandpa's sleeve. I also in the package received this as well. And this is gray wolf thread. I really like that as well. And a small piece of Grandma's slip thread too. Let me show you her business card. I will be ordering from her again. I like the feel of the fabric itself. You know, sometimes you can get them where they're way too stiff. It just has a good feel to it, and a good smell too. But it was great. So thank you very much. I don't know if she watches my videos, but I'm very thankful for to be the recipient of that giveaway. What else? While I was out today, I did pick up the new Just Cross Stitch Halloween magazine collector's issue. And there's like 2 things in here I'm interested in, and that's it. I was a little disappointed. I didn't really see anything in here that I just had to have or had to stitch. I kind of like the look of that bookmark, but you know, the colors, but am I going to stitch it? And the little witch there, but am I going to stitch it? But that's about it. So just a little disappointed. That doesn't mean that everyone won't find something in there. It's just as far as my tastes go, I just was disappointed. And I didn't ask if I could give out names. I have been the lucky recipient of another Stitchy Kindness. Someone sent me the 3rd panel for this piece that I had shown in my flip through video. I had the first 2 pieces, but not this piece. And she contacted me and said, I have it. And that was right before last week I received the book in the mail as a random kindness. But I do thank you for this. I appreciate it very much. And I also received this stocking. The person who sent these said that they had noticed on my flip through that I had marked stockings and thought that I may be interested in these, and if not, just please pass them on. But I thank you for the kindness. Thank you for you know, noticing you know, my words and what I said, that I was, you know, had been looking at the stockings, so that was very nice of you to do that. And Miss Rudy, thank you. I have a Michelle Rudy original fabric. I got this, and it looks like it may be 40 count. I'm thinking she's stuck, you know, she stuck a piece of Picture This Plus or Lakeside Linen in here. This is a Michelle Rudy original. Isn't that beautiful? I will definitely find something to stitch on that. I love it. But just seeing this piece after watching her do this, you know, she makes me know that I can do this for myself too. But thanks, Michelle. She also sent this. Marlene, look! I haven't gotten my Post-it notes out to put in here yet, but there are several really cute sampler designs in here. I'll just show you a couple. Here's one here. And what really got my attention were the bell pulls, especially this one here. And they're repeating bell pulls, so, you know, as far as the patterns in the book goes, you can see you've got this arrow band here, and anyway, they're repeating. This is also at the top here. So I really love the look of this one. I may want to darken the fabric up. That's a little too stark white for me, but it's so easy to do that, isn't it? So thanks, Michelle, for my sampler year and a piece of fabric for the sampler year. I have been on the Bay of Evil again. I bought 2 new patterns, or new to me. They're secondhand, of course. I'd never seen this designer, Margaret and Margaret Incorporated, and this is Adam and Eve sampler. And it says, "And God blessed them, and God said unto them, Be fruitful and multiply, and replenish the earth, and subdue it, and have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over every living thing that moveth upon the earth." Adam and Eve doesn't look like Adam and Eve. Adam and Eve look colonial. That could be Betsy Ross. I love it. Here's my other one. And I may not be able to wait until my sampler year to start this one. I showed everyone, I'm going to give you a glance from afar. This is a hand-drawn chart. I think this is my first. I can't recall if I've gotten another one before or not. But this is, I'm just going to give you a quick, see that? I'm going to do it. I can do it. With mag eyes and bifocals, magnifiers, hot lights. But here's the pattern. I just really love that house. The colors. The colors on this one, they scream my name. The colors in that house at the bottom, this right here, that is what drew me. Now this is the second pattern I have. The other pattern I have is not hand drawn. And there's a lady that contacted me on and said that she used to be neighbors with the gentleman, and it was a gentleman who designed this pattern, and she had taught him to stitch, and she was going to talk with him about it. She was worried that this may have been a knockoff pattern, and it's not. I can tell by, you know, it's not paper. You can tell by the edges are just slightly yellow to the pattern. You can see the wear and tear. And you can even see where the old price tag was on it. But this is from 1994, actually, copyright. But I've seen several of his patterns. There's another one I've been eyeballing online, the Remembrance Sampler. But I do like I said, those colors scream my name. The color of that house, that is so me. So I may not be able to wait on this one, and it may be a perfect piece to stitch. Well, I don't know though. I don't know that I want to stitch it on Michelle's fabric, because I don't know that I want to struggle with 40 count and struggle with that pattern. But I will be stitching this soon. And what else did I get? I went today and picked up a frame and come home and framed. You ready? I'm so excited. What do you think? I love this gray. I'm getting better and better. I may not be Julie McConnell frame worthy. She may not hire me in her shop. She may not even take me as a free worker, but my foam core board is, I had a scrap piece and it was just a sliver too small inside the grooves of the frame on the back. And I did the best I could with it, but I've noticed, like, It looks like it's a little, and I did measure and measure and measure, so the actual piece attached to the foam core is fine, but because this is floating inside of here just a tad, I can see that it looks like it's off center, especially in this corner, and it's not. It's that it's floating. But I'm very happy with it. What do you think? And it's just nothing special molding, but I love the gray. I thought it would pick up with the gray, because there's black and gray in the clouds and in this owl. This makes me happy. So at the beginning of the year, when I started Flosstube, I was really inspired by Celia Beckisland to finish as I went. She does that, and I know hers are, she typically stitches things that are smaller than the pieces that I stitch. But it just makes good common sense to me to finish as I go, because I have a stack of unfinished things. And I've actually finished a couple of those things this year and got them framed. Like this one was framed, and it had been in that stack. So I think so far this year I've got this one, this Windowsill of Heaven, and By the Bay. And I do have a frame for By the Bay that I had thrifted. But it's going to need a mat, and I'm going to have to add fabric to the edges of the By the Bay piece. It's going to need, the frame is a good bit larger than, not a good bit, but it's bigger than the dimensions of the piece. So I'm going to need a mat, but I'm going to need extra fabric sewn on the edges so that I can stretch it to, you know, to fit the foam core board to fit inside the inside of the frame, if that makes sense. I'm talking framing lingo, and I'm a novice, so. But one more look. It will go. This one will not go in my stitch room. This is going to go in my bedroom. My bedroom has silver and gray and blue. Perfect place for it. Also got another gift in the mail. And thanks, Allie. I haven't opened it yet, so I'm going to open it with you guys. I did open the package, but not what was in the package. It's all nicely packaged with a sweet little card. Looks like she handmade the card. Friendship returns, warms the heart. Hold on just a second. Thanks, Allie. So let's open this up and see what we got. The girls are spoiling me. Who doesn't love to open a present? Oh my. Some watercolors by Karen. This is Desert Sage. Look at those colors. Dusty Rose. I've never seen this. It's a banding that you can cross stitch on, or would you consider that a ribbon? Oh, that's neat. Blackbird Designs Beach House Motif Charm Pack. Oh yeah, look. These would be wonderful for finishing up a pincushion. And all the Blackbird designs I have. Oh, there's the sampler pattern. Thanks, Allie. Love it. And a velour guest towel. So she sent a guest towel. And cross stitch on that. Oh, that's soft. And Megan was stitching those towels this past year. Cool is that? How neat. Thank you so much. Alright, what are my plans for this week? I'm going to go downstairs and I'm going to work on my Lavender and Lace Nantucket Rose piece that we are stitching along with Dina Half Stitch Cross Stitch on Facebook. She has an event page if you've not looked it up, and you can still join us. I have not worked on it but maybe one day this week, and that was only maybe a thread. But I'm going to fix that starting in a few minutes. And on the 1st, we will be starting this. This is Needles and Pins. I sometimes want to call it Pins and Needles. Maybe that's what I should call it. Pins and Needles. No. Needles and Pins by Theron Traditions. And there is a link in, or I'll post the link below for this. I've created a group for this. Emily of Eclectic Possessions and I are doing this together, and anyone's welcome to join in that would like to. And this is the fabric that I've chosen. I've not pulled my colors yet. I did not go out and buy new threads because I have 11 boxes of VMC, not counting what I put in pieces, but so I'm going to pull from them when I get ready later on this week. But this is 32 count vintage Luna, and this is Lakeside Linen, and it's like it's like a creamy yellow ecru. It's not coming out true on the screen here, but I really like that color. I'm sure I'll be using this color for something else. I took a chance ordering this. I've never bought it before, and I was on 1-2-3 Stitch, and I had decided to do this, and had posted it on, and I had bought it, and I posted it on Instagram, and there was a lot of interest in, you know, let's do this together, so we're going to do it together. And I thought, well, I don't even have fabric. Now I've got 2 Rubbermaid totes of fabric, but I don't have any fabric, so I had to go and get it, and this is what I chose. And like I said, it's not showing up as well in this lighting, but I really like this, and I'm sure I'll probably order more this coming year when I do some of the samplers for the year. What else do I have going on? So those are my plans to work on Nantucket Rose. Tomorrow, if I get a few minutes, I will continue to work on my Santa, if I do get him finished, which I'm not sure that I will, but I think Marlene had sent a, what is her name? Oh, she does All Creatures Great and Small, or did All Creatures Great and Small. I can't think of it, but she sent me a Biscornu pattern with a little Santa on it and a little elf. And I really liked it, so I wanted to give that a try. I've made Biscornus with regular fabric just to kind of get down how to assemble them. You know, it's one thing to put 2 pieces of fabric together and you mess it up. It's not that big of a deal, so you throw them in the garbage because you're only really out $1. But you start putting together a Biscornu that you have actually stitched on, it's, you know, the value of that to me is a lot higher. So I wanted to be able to successfully assemble that Biscornu. And I had found a YouTube video. It wasn't a Flosstube video. This was before I knew about Flosstube. Flosstube may have been around. I just didn't know about it. But I did find a YouTube video to use. And also today, I did pick up a few fabrics. At the beginning of the year, I had decided not only to finish as I go, but I wanted to have a bag for each day, a project pouch for each day of the month. Each day of the year. Not every day of the month. Each day of the year. And so I had gotten through July. So I have not done August. And here we're going into September. So I'm going to show you the fabrics I picked up. And I did do Christmas already. I did that in January. But I have August, September, and October. No. I didn't pick up anything for September. I'm doing August, October, and November. now I need another trip. I need to go get some September fabric. So I picked this up. You know, August is all about sunflowers. And once again, I love that blue and that golden yellow, mustard yellow. And this would be the inner fabric. And I actually got enough so that I could do 2 of them because, once again, this is more teal than it is blue. And there's a good friend. It's Dawn, the new stitcher. She loves teal, so I thought I would, and sunflowers, she grows them in her garden. So I'm going to make one for me and one for her. Y'all don't tell her. And also, this is my November fabric with cornucopia, sunflowers. Is that corn? What is that? What is that right there? Just, it's not grapes. I don't know what that is. Just some type of berry, maybe. Cranberries? Anyway. So, sunflowers, cornucopia, and this is my inner fabric. And this is my October fabric. And that's the inner fabric. That's the outer fabric. And just a funny little weird thing about me. My husband and I, our first date was on Friday the 13th. So we have always, I think we celebrate our first date as our anniversary. Our first date more than we do our actual wedding anniversary date. We always go somewhere, and this year we'll be in Myrtle Beach. I will be at the Pals Retreat. He will be coming with me, and I'm so excited because Natasha Stitcherella will be there too with her husband, and we're hoping we can get those 2 guys together so I can get a little more stitch time, but I really don't think that's going to happen. I think the 4 of us will be off and into some mischief, but I'm really looking forward to it. I think we're going to have a great time. But anyway, once again, I think he is the star of the show for me. It's that top hat. And then, of course, I got, what do you call this? Pellon. And the threads. And I never have put the doily that I had that was in the broken frame and on the bright pink mat. I bought the matting, but I did not buy the chenille needles, which I bought today. And I knew I was going to need this to help me get those needles through it. First, I wasn't going to try that. You know, Vanna had suggested I use chenille needles to punch through the matting board to attach that doily to the new mat that I got, and I was thinking my fingers are going to ache. There's got to be an easier way to do it. I bought glue dots and then just playing with the glue dots to see how they were going to go. You know, they're double-sided, so they stick to your finger, and then I'm going to try this. So I bought me some little, they're needle pullers. I didn't realize that's what they were called. But you see, they're called needle pullers instead of thimbles to help me. And so there's one, I guess, for your forefinger. Yeah. See, I bought them and didn't pay close attention. So you put one on both of these to help you pull that through. This is ingenious. Genius. And that's it. So I hope everyone has a great week. I'm looking forward to the start on September 1st for the Needles and Pins Stitch Along. So I hope those that are interested will pop over and join us, and I will make sure I put a link below. Have a great week. I will look forward to seeing you all again next weekend. Until then, hugs and stitches. Bye-bye.